MROSSTWEDDELL. Ain't I great? That can spell my own name. Can I have my Hall of Fame ring now, please?
WTF! WTF!
Hello, how are you? I am Ross from Cultaholic.com. You're my sexual wank pheasants, and it's that bastard time of the week once again where I take a look at all of the WTF moments from WWE Raw. A WWE Raw that was an absolute Tyler breeze to watch because 2 hours of it was dedicated to a single match. More of that, please. And we have to start with the announcement that happened just before Raw went on the air, an announcement that we never thought we'd see happen, an announcement that seemed less likely than a man eating his own head. Apollo Crews has lost his second name a mere 7 days after Titus O'Neil was shouting at WWE's merch team, telling them to make Crews Can't Lose merch, just like he presumably shouts at his own little son to kiss him on the lips. Very aggressively. What are they going to do now? Titus Worldwide have made an absolute mess here. Apollo isn't hollow, Apollo doesn't wallow, Apollo doesn't swallow. He might do. Either which way you paint it, lads, Apollo is buggered. Shame on you, Phoenix, and whatever reputation you carry, because Kevin Dunn saw fit to completely murder the sound during that moment's reflection for the victims of the Parkland, Florida tragedy. Christ almighty me, if something like that can't make you stand in a moment of silent reflection, paying your respects to those victims, you are beyond help, you absolute wet wipes. What was the crap with that?
Made a grave mistake, Corey.
What the hell has happened to Corey Graves' hair? If that isn't a grave mistake, then Booker T might actually win an Oscar down the line. That's how he says Oscar. Corey looks like he's had a snotty nose, wiped his snot up his face and through his hair. Yummy. I tell you what, that sign there better say Kurt Angle's a hot dad, because he looks nothing like a hot dog, a hot duck, or a hot dog. A human thumb, no. He looks exactly like one of those. Braun Strowman cried at the notebook apparently, and that fan there thought it was newsworthy enough to put on a sign and take to last night's Raw. Newsflash, pal, we all cried at the notebook, how couldn't you? It's a story of an agent of romantic chaos swooping into the state life of a girl and her button-up boyfriend and winning her over with his spontaneity and charm. Didn't you know? He's the embodiment of swagger, but also focus and passion. I cried, I really did. Roman Reigns saying he can beat Brock Lesnar is just exactly the same as me saying I can beat Brock Lesnar is based off nothing other than delusion, hope, and wet dreams. And then the big dog went on to say that the last time he and Brock Lesnar in a singles match at WrestleMania 31, he would have gone on to beat him before Seth Rollins cashed in and won the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Bollocks, pal. I've got more chance of beating obesity. You got the absolute snot beaten out of you, pal. Go back and watch that match if you don't believe me. Seth Rollins coming down to cash in saved you from absolute death. And somehow, that snot you got beaten out of you worked its way to Corey Graves' hair just under 3 years later. It's weird how life works out, isn't it? And then apparently Roman Reigns took to Twitter sometime yesterday to say Sunday, Monday, doggy days. Oh no. Sunday, Monday, any day of the week, it is one versus all. It's funny that because you were in the Shield with other men for a large chunk of last year, and presumably still would be if Dean Ambrose wasn't injured. How could you forget Dean Ambrose like that, you big dick?
Made a grave mistake, Corey.
And this time Corey claims that the big dog told him that he wants to be in exactly the same career position as he was this time last year, buckling up and getting ready to main event WrestleMania. However, this time last year, we all thought, as they are advertised, one of the championship matches would be main event in WrestleMania, specifically Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton, considering Randy Orton won the Royal Rumble, which you win the WrestleMania. Smooth. That's when you forget that Randy Orton was going through puberty this time last year and letting his hormones get in the way of rational thought. Oh, Bray, I'll sacrifice myself for you. Oh no, wait there. I want me championship match back. But now I have to defeat AJ Styles, making my road to WrestleMania twice as hard as it actually had to be. I'm rambling now. We didn't know that Roman Reigns was going to main event WrestleMania 33 until the night itself, when it was apparent that Taker was going on last and that Taker was going to retire and stay retired. Isn't that right, Captain Underpants? Sorry, Coachman, but you're talking absolute bollocks, pal. He's going on about how the gauntlet match that kicked off last night's show is great for getting your stamina up and building momentum and is perfect practice for the Elimination Chamber on Sunday. Bollocks, pal, to all of those things. That's like doing pre-season in rugby league when you're a rugby union team preparing for a season in rugby union. They are the same thing technically, but technically they're also very different. First of all, a gauntlet match is knackering. You're not telling me that Seth Rollins, after wrestling for 65 minutes, built his stamina up, he's going to be absolutely knackered on Sunday. I don't need to say it, but I will anyway. Each and every superstar in that match should have been wanting to get out of that thing quicker than JBL opens the tab with the naked muscular ladies on. Save your energy for Sunday when it matters. And then we have Corey Graves, who put Coachman right in his place when he said that the gauntlet match that happened last night and the Elimination Chamber match that will happen on Sunday are very different things. In the gauntlet match, it was 1 versus 1 the entire way through. There was disqualifications, there was countouts, whereas in the Elimination Chamber, it could pile up and all 7 men could be in the ring at the same time with no DQs and no way out. Talk like this from Coachman just proves my point and proves that the juices, the residue from Booker T is still in that chair and is soaking its way up through the arse of Coachman, causing him to talk more bollocks week upon week. Vince McMahon likes greasy wet hair. Vince McMahon likes Vince McMahon likes them too. Maggle, 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 maggle. And this time, Maggle Cole claiming that there's still steel grating surrounding the ring in the Elimination Chamber is just like somebody still claiming that in 2018 a steel chair shot to the head is a very good idea. It's not. Get up with the times, Maggle. As we all know, last year the new chamber revealed that there's padding around the ring, which is a great call in my opinion. A softer surface means that the wrestlers can do more really cool moves, yo. Corey Graves claims that once you've competed inside the Elimination Chamber, you're never the same again. Now, once you put that big, hard, thick, firm structure in your mind, it is clear that when he was talking about this, Corey Graves meant that once you go black, you never go back. But with Coach once again, and this time he claims that it's going to be cool to see the women of Monday Night Raw see Ronda Rousey up close and personal for the first time. Coach, what are you talking about? Ronda would have had to have been inside. Ask her Alexa Bliss at the Rumble, you dirty bastard. John Cena using 3 belly-to-bellies on a show where Bayley is also booked to compete later in the night is absolutely unforgivable. What a massive dick. Bayley should be going to the authorities and complaining, but she won't do that, will she, WWE? Because she's nothing more than a stupid virgin. Good job. Maggle, 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 maggle. If this episode of WTF Moments was a professional wrestler, then it would be the great Carly. The big, thick, chunky bit at the top is all of the commentary mistakes, and the little chicken legs propping up the big, thick bit at the top is the rest of the show's mistakes combined. Oh, these long matches, why'd you make me job so hard? But this time, Maggle Cole references Chris Benoit indirectly. He goes on about the only time in Raw history a match going 60 minutes was when Triple H did the graps, but Triple H can't do the graps on the own. And who did Triple H do the graps against? He did the graps against Chris Benoit. Interestingly though, alongside Angle vs Lesnar, another 60-minute Iron Man match, the longest match in televised weekly episodic WWE television history, belongs to SmackDown Live, and I'm going to read the competitors because there's a lot of them. Tag Team Turmoil, Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan, The Miz and Mizdow, The Usos, Los Matadores, Heath Slater and Titus O'Neil, The Ascension and The Big Show and Kane. That lasted for 1 hour, 5 minutes and 15 seconds. Yes, I am talking the truth. John Cena claims it takes a brave man to label himself Mr. Monday Night, even though Seth Rollins, who he was talking about here, hasn't. He called himself on Monday Night Raw, whatever this means, Monday Night Rollins once in the last millennium, and now we're supposed to act like we've stumbled upon a new John O'Clock or other iconic catchphrases of our time. But as for Mr. Monday Night, the name that Rollins didn't call himself, but Cena seemed to have thought he called himself, belongs to Mr. Robin Van Den Daminator. Maggle, 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 maggle. Maggle Cole, it wasn't a huge bass guitar, it was a double bass, you double numpty. And then Maggle claimed that Seth Rollins went 1 hour, 5 minutes with the best in the world. Now I sat there thinking to myself, I didn't know Rusev was on Raw. But bloody hell, Seth Rollins, what a monumental tool you are. Why would you put yourself through all of that for no reward 6 days removed from Elimination Chamber? You are going to be knackered on Sunday, pal. That man needs his internet search history checked, because there's no way you'd put yourself through that if you didn't have a fetish for the kind of pain and suffering he went through. Back to the announce table once again. Bloody hell, the imbalance between commentary calls and actual mistakes in the ring is way off kilter, isn't it? Damn you, WWE with your week-long matches that makes my job harder than Hard Knocks, the Chris Benoit story. Jonathan Coachman talking about the Phoenix crowd loving that gauntlet match was all kinds of, what? Oh, hell no. Hold up. They were quite literally sat on their hands, and I'm sure I saw a couple of them gagged in the mouth. And when they weren't gagged in the mouth, they were chanting, "We want Braun Strowman," during the Finn Balor versus Elias portion of the match. So silent, so eerie, so not enjoying the really long match that was taking place before their ungrateful eyes. Bloody hell, I don't like Phoenix, do I? Who wants to walk with Elias? Absolutely nobody. If he keeps talking crap like this, he asked Renee Young if she saw what he did to Seth Rollins. I mean, of course she did. She's out Raw. She's reporting on Raw. She's got to ask questions to these people that relate to the match that's just taken place on Raw. Of course she's watching Raw. Elias pinned Seth Rollins, by the way, which he said he was going to do to 5 more superstars at the Elimination Chamber on Sunday. He's either banking on somebody getting that little straggler, or he's planning on becoming the final man eliminated from the match, because as we all know, there are 7 in this year's men's match, not 6. Silly Finn, you bleeding idiot. Why wouldn't you allow the Miz Taraj to attack you there, which would have had the Miz disqualified from the match by disqualification, allowing you to advance to the next person, who is Braun Strowman? Why must you fight on like a naive, stupid babyface? I guess with logic like that in your brain, you also think the earth is flat. I'm never doing an Irish accent again, never. So the longest televised match in weekly episodic WWE television history happened last night, and so did the fastest ever first 2 hours of Raw in the history of mankind. That gauntlet match clocked in at just over 2 hours of television time, including ad breaks. And I don't want to say it's lazy booking, but it was different. At least it wasn't the normal go-home show formula. Should have lasted 2/3 of the night? Absolutely not. But it was largely entertaining, and therefore we should be all tickety-boo. Braun Strowman, I don't fear the unknown. One question, who's the unknown?
Made a grave mistake, Corey.
This time, Corey Graves asked whether there's a possibility if Brock Lesnar is watching at home with a few butterflies in his stomach. No. Now, I know I say the same thing just about every week on SmackDown Live's WTF Moments, but a 6-women tag match? Oh my god! Slap my ass and call me Betty. I've never seen one of those before. Again, I don't want to say it's lazy booking, but bloody hell, what else can I say? So a former WCW World Heavyweight Champion famously asked for and got roughly $300,000 when his contract quietly expired, yet he was still the Intercontinental Champion. He was fired live on Raw during the invasion. He tried to rekindle the Monday Night Wars to take down WWE, but he failed miserably. That's right, Jeff Jarrett is going into the WWE Hall of Fame. I do not know where to crap or wind my watch, and 66.7% of TNA's Hall of Fame will be in WWE's Hall of Fame by the time this year's Hall of Fame ceremony comes to the end. The numbers do not lie, and they spell trouble for you, WWE, at sacrifice. That's no big dog, that's a Dolphinman. That's the show-off sheepdog. Just go away. Asuka doesn't have to talk, so don't make her talk. Just make her kick all of the arses. That promo there, over there. Hello. It was more painful than being hit by a car, a really, really big car, numerous times. Next up, we have Jonathan Coachman. The moment he claimed that Asuka has never faced anybody like Nia Jax. And that's right, Jonathan Coachman. Humans have never breathed oxygen either, have they? Just so they're not too confused, pal, they have. And Nia Jax has also faced Asuka in the past on pissing pay-per-view. How do you not know? Lady Ball's making the mistake now. Oh, how the mighty have fallen, had their Lady Ball squashed by the WTF moment. She claims that Ronda Rousey is an Olympic champion, and while I know that Ronda Rousey won bronze in 2008 in the judo, which is a mighty fine achievement all on its own, she is not an Olympic champion, because I googled Olympic champion, and what came up, it was a list of Lithuania's Olympic champions, and all of them were gold medalists. There was not a bronze in sight, which is ironic, because Stephanie's underpounds are bronze because of this. Her arse dropped out. Bronze is the colour of poo. Who? Maggle, 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 maggle. And this time we have the moment that Maggle Cole called Apollo Crews, even though Apollo lost his cruise earlier in the day. It's a shock, I know, that Maggle Cole wasn't calling Cesaro Claudio Castagnoli, Sheamus O'Shaughnessy, and Titus O'Neil Rufus Patterson. That's right, Titus O'Neil was once known as Rufus Patterson, presumably because he roofs like a dog. Not a big one though. Some say the end is near, do they, Brit? Nah, you numpty, no wonder you called yourself worse than failure a couple of weeks ago, because getting iconic catchphrases like that wrong is absolutely unacceptable. So that women's tag team match happened, and Mandy Rose's portion of Absolution's tag team finisher is just like a caring mother putting her newborn baby to sleep at night. But after the match, a match where Mickie James was on one team and Alexa Bliss on the other team, Mickie James decided to align with Alexa Bliss despite no seeds being sown for this partnership in previous weeks. Alexa Bliss has been right all along. Mickie James is old and is confused. That is it for all of your WTF moments from a really strange feeling episode of WWE Raw. I've been Ross from Cultaholic.com. You have been my sexual wanked pheasants. Do follow me on the Twitter machine at Ross on Wrestling. Go over to our Patreon page, patreon.com/Cultaholic, where you will see all kinds of tiered rewards and lovely things, and anything you can give us will be greatly appreciated and rejuvenated into many lovely things so we can produce more related lovely content for your ears. But most importantly of all, do not forget to join us on every form of social media apart from AOL Messenger.